Plaster, advantages and disadvantages, explained with complete details. What is plaster? This is a fundamental question that is important to figure out the nature of the subject matter. At the point when we hear the word plaster, we frequently consider a plaster, leveling bar, trowel, and loads of dirt. Meanwhile, plaster has turned into a conventional term that covers all that can be put on the wall, from 20 mm lined concrete-based plaster to 3 mm clay filler. Basically, building material is utilized to coat and safeguard internal walls and roofs, and at times, is even utilized on outside walls. What is a plaster undercoat? By and large, an artist will secure brushes and paint. However, above all, the canvas on which the painting will be displayed must be secured. In light of that, consider an undercoat as a canvas on top of which you can make a few pretty special designs for your walls or different surfaces. Subsequently, undercoats are the base on which all the other things are constructed, and they are so significant in light of this function. Subsequently, the blending and utilization of an undercoat are crucial and should be done in the right way. This is on the grounds that, assuming the blend is off-base, or it isn't applied as expected, all the other things based on top of it will likewise be inadequate. What is a plaster top coat? Assuming the undercoat is the canvas or material that you draw on, the top coat is the actual painting, and it is the final layer of coating essential before you paint over the wall. Because of this, the mix is normally smoother than undercoats, and it includes more water than the others. In this way, in a three-coat framework, the top coat, also called the completion coat, happens after the scratch and undercoat. Types of plaster. 1. Browning plaster. This is an undercoat plaster utilized as a base for paint and other enriching endeavor. It is basically the same as bonding plaster, however is generally valuable with additional absorbent surfaces. 2. Thistle plaster. Next up is thistle plaster, which, rather than bonding and browning, is a finished coat, and that implies it comes up toward the finish of the plastering process. 3. Bonding plaster. Like browning plaster, bonding plaster is additionally viewed as an undercoat on which different things are added. 4. Hardwall plaster. Hardwall plaster is an undercoat plaster that is generally utilized with masonry backgrounds like bricks and medium-density blocks. 5. Carrelite plaster. Very much like thistle plaster, carrelite is additionally a finished coat that is typically utilized on top of a background. 6. One-coat plaster. All the more, comprising of the conventional gypsum material, one-coat plaster has a thicker consistency, which enables it to work with thicker layers than different variants. 7. Dry coat plaster. Dry coat plaster is somewhat different from the others as it is utilized for plastering after the installation of another damp-proof course, DPC. 8. Tough coat plaster. It is an undercoat plaster that, as the name suggests, is exceptionally tough and can take on conditions that different kinds of plaster can't deal with. Advantages of plasters. A. Plaster walls are thicker and more solid. Plaster provides a strong area of strength for a durable surface that can be painted over to add an exceptional touch of style to a wall. B. The elegance of a changed appearance. Plaster has been utilized for quite a while, still utilized now by those who believe their homes or buildings should have an antique appearance. C. Cleaning up plaster is a breeze. The plaster's surface doesn't crack or break, so standard cleaning won't chip or scratch it over the long haul. D. Resilience. At the point point when plaster is accurately blended and coated, it creates a wall surface that is more stronger than drywall, and less vulnerable to damage over the long run. Disadvantages of plaster. A. It's not always easy to paint on plaster. Plaster is enduring or long-lasting and extraordinary for use as a painting medium, despite the fact that you might require multiple coats to get the desired effect. B. Frustratingly impossible to fix. The worth of plaster reclamation rises since it very well may be hard to find an expert plaster firm. C. Installation. It can require a few days to smooth drywall since the joint compound needs time to dry in between coats. B. Cost. Plasterers often charge more than average because of the specialized skills they have acquired via training. Conclusion. While the results or outcomes are generally magnificent, plastering is perhaps one of the most chaotic works out there, and you ought to realize this prior to embarking on it. In the event that you need to do it yourself, ensure that you clear the room of all furnishings and different fixtures, as there will be a great deal of dust hanging around. Additionally, it is advised that you blend the plaster in an outside region, so you don't inhale excess dust. Thanks for watching.